it's streaming. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, yeah,
Looks like
yeah.
it's coming back.
Finally, finally. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Super.
We're alive again.
Finally.
Yeah. Let's start completely over. The last 17 minutes haven't existed. Hello, my beautiful people. This is Style STS, and welcome to Indie Weekend. In the final hours here, we have Alex, the developer for Living
hi
in a
there.
Bunker. So, for the last 17 minutes, how's your day been?
Kind of fun. Yeah,
Fun? Alright.
Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. I've never done it before, so.
It's alright. So, this is Alex's first stream, actually. We're going to be showcasing you Live in a Bunker. It's coming out February 25th. And can you just give us a quick spiel of what the game actually
it's
is?
Management. You basically build in your bunker and kind of manage it, trying to survive for 50 cycles, which equals roughly 500 years. Yeah.
So from the looks of the game, we can start. Yeah, so we can start the game whenever you'd like, and you can start showcasing different elements.
Oh, all right. So.
Start down your microphone. Okay. It's way down.
Way down.
I turned it way down. It should fix in Twitch here.
Oh, is it alright now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
The other people?
Yeah, they can all hear you.
Alright.
We sound even now. Sweet.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice. So,
perfect.
Can we start the game now?
Yep, start the game anytime.
So, this is the bunker.
Alright, so we didn't see, well, we did see the intro clip for the game the other day. Looks like a meteor fell on Earth. So these are your survivors, and as you were saying, 500 years we have to survive and feed them and all that fun stuff. So what do you suggest people do when they first start off the game?
When you start the game, just put it on pause and see what you get. Like, of course, obviously you have to go through the tutorial to see what the main stuff is, and once you get familiar with the game, you can just, I don't know, you can rename your residents wherever you want. Call them like all funny names and stuff, and then you should pick the professions if you want them to do stuff, like to work, like the workers. They dig the ground and they build stuff. These are the janitors. They clean after the residents. And this is the cook, and the farmer, and the scientist. So there are 6 professions, and you have to keep constant supply of their new residents. What you do over this, over here, it's Incubator, and where you can start a new batch of residents. And yeah, once you do it, you can start planning your expansion, like so.
Cool.
So we can make a new room. Yeah. You wanna ask me something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, it looks like there's some Dungeon Keeper vibes going on here. Was that an inspiration
honestly,
for you?
I played Dungeon Keeper like ages ago, like when I was in school. So when people say that looks like Dungeon Keeper, I say, yeah, maybe. But it was so long ago that I really have like
don't remember. It's just ingrained in your being.
Memories of Dungeon Keeper. It was like way long ago. So maybe it does, because of this shape of the ground. I think the main resemblance to Dungeon Keeper, and I don't know, maybe because it's all underground stuff. Like, yeah, you can say it looks like Dungeon Keeper, but you know, some people say it looks like Evil Geniuses. I don't know if you heard about this game, but
No, I have not.
you are not alone here, because I heard about this game only, only after I started posting some stuff about our game, and when people started saying, "Oh, that looked like Evil Geniuses," Genius, and I said, "Really? Let's Google it." Like, I never played that game before, so if it does look like that game, it's really wasn't.
Completely
Yes.
coincidental.
Yes.
So, Sentry wants to know, what is the end game,
Well,
if there
an
is
end
one?
game. After you survive 50 cycles, you can get off the bunker, go off the bunker, and you see what happens to the doors and start repopulating the surface. Basically, you can reclaim the planet.
So eventually you'll be playing
No,
on
it's like the happy ending. You just leave the
okay,
bunker.
so like you just leave the bunker, like
Yeah,
a cutscene
and
happens,
that's it.
and
you just
okay, is it possible to keep playing after that
you
500
can
years
play,
happens?
but you can't.
You know, just in case the world is too destroyed.
But you can't leave the bunker. If you want to keep playing, you have to stay in the bunker. Once you left it, like, the game is over. We got a small earthquake. Yeah. Anyway,
Ooh.
Samuel, our janitor will take we'll take care of it. Like you can see, yeah, she's running.
So, in a previous time that probably doesn't exist anywhere else, you were talking about how you lived in the UK for your master's degree. Do you want to explain to the chat what you got your master's degree in before?
Sorry, I got my
yeah.
Alright, I came back. Master's degree. Alright, it was technology entrepreneurship. A lot of bullshit. Sorry. About nothing, but you know, they supposed to teach you how to start your company and all that stuff.
That's
It
cool.
sounds cool, but it's way trivial, and sometimes way too obvious. Like, this is not a rocket science. If you want to start something, just start doing it. Basically, this is the main advice.
So, can you tell the chat where you met Anton Poznikov?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Poznikov. I was close.
Yeah,
Give me
pretty much there. We met in Moscow when I lived there, when I used to live there, and we had a common friend. He also used to work with us, and we started company all together. So there were 3 of us, and we started our first game. Well, before we had like a tiny little puzzle game which we released on iOS and Android, which was called Runline, and we made it just to see if we can get something done together. So, and we did it, and then was Frozen State, and still is Frozen State, and I think we how to say, we bit too much, more than we can swallow.
Okay.
So yeah, I think like when you decide to make a game, you think, oh right, I make my dream game, you know, like the best, the
perfect picture,
perfect game, and it's gonna be awesome. But when you start making it, you understand that it's not as easy as you thought, and well, we're still making it. It's great, and you know, we have a great community, and they help us a lot actually. And like many people complain about early access, and it does have disadvantages, of course, and sometimes you don't know what you're gonna get after you bought a game. And whether it's gonna be finished or not, you know, there are a lot of gray areas of early access. but I think community can really help to create a great game. They can, you know, it's like having a person who can observe your work and say, like, unbiasedly say that this is crap, or you can make this thing better. Like, you know, this is a part of this work, and you have to take criticism if you want to keep working in this industry, I think. And all right, there is sometimes criticism, like this game is crap, full stop, and the developers are idiots, and full stop, and this is where the conversation ends. I mean, I'd like to ask this person why he or she,
why they thought it was bad.
What did we do? But that's it. Like, the conversation never continues. And yes, there are some people like that, but most of them are quite good. And we got a lot of positive feedback and a lot of great ideas. So.
Did any of the community's ideas make it into the game?
A lot of them, actually. And we.
Can you give us like an example of one of the community
right now we are
input?
making a big update, and we completely revamping the combat system. I can just give me a second. I'm gonna make the music a little bit down because I can't hear myself really. Just yeah.
Okay.
That's perfect. Because it's really hard to talk when you can't hear yourself. Yeah, so what I was talking about, the big update, yeah, we completely revamped in the combat system because it was not so good. And the community, like, we knew it wasn't good. The community was saying it wasn't good. So why not change it if we can? So we are about to finish it. I think we're gonna finish it in March and release it in March, in the beginning of March. Yeah.
Ooh. So right after you guys release the game?
Much.
That's cool. The chat wants to know if there's any random events in the game. Like, do you take people from the outside world?
No, you can't take people from the outside world. The outside world is dead. Yeah,
they're already dead.
But there are random events like the earthquakes and some random breakages, like your stuff can break. The pipes, the underground pipes can break, and the cables. All this are random. And yeah, diseases and some. Yeah, there are some small events which are random, but you can't take anyone from the outside world.
So, from the looks of it, you clone people in this game?
We have like a proper process.
Proper system?
Yeah, but you know, it was like people were complaining about, like, to make a child, you just click a button. And that's
true.
The residents just supposedly have sex and you got a child. We said, all right, we'll make an incubator where you can clone people, because you click a button, you still click a button, but it's more like logical when in a way, because we didn't want to show like scene of our residents having sex. Like, it was kind of awkward.
See, yeah. So it looks like you have some needs in your citizens. Can you name off the needs of what your citizens need?
They have to sleep, they have a fatigue, they have hunger, they have cleanliness, they have to take shower, which I was about to make. They need to go to toilet, leisure. Yeah, they have. Oh yeah, our first kids were born, and yeah, you can see them here. And yeah, they need sports. So basically, these are the main stuff. Like, how many? 6 of them. So yeah, the 6 needs. and you need to be sure that you satisfy them all, otherwise they start they will be really disappointed.
Rioting.
Yeah, at you. They will be really slow, and they won't. Well, they still be working, but they will have a lot of breaks, and they will complain about stuff. So basically, the effectiveness will go down, the efficiency will go down. Yeah.
Okay.
We will probably lose. So yeah. Yeah,
Some happiness.
It's just the overall meter. It basic.
Ooh,
Yeah.
another earthquake.
I think we got a tile. Yeah, the earthquakes happens if you have a clear tile like we have right now, and there is also a risk of mole-man invasion if you have these tiles cleared. There is still there is a random event that a hole will appear and a bunch of mole-men will overrun your bunker, killing everyone.
Is there any plans for adding more enemies to the game?
Yes. Actually, you know, we were really on the fence whether we should add enemies like at all, or we should make it without any like enemies and fighting and stuff. And the mole-men, they were the first model I made, and I thought, why not? Let's just throw them. Yeah,
go for it.
And they somehow made it to the game. There is still, like, it's not the main mechanic where you have to defend your bunker. There is no turrets or anything like that. There is no guards. Every resident can kill, can fight, and they can overpower a bunch of mole-men easily. So they're more just for fun.
Cool. So Cynthia wants to know if there's a Z layer. Can you go up and down in game?
I can show you. There is. It's blackness. Well, yeah. You have to you have to make a lift, build a lift to go down.
Okay.
Until you do so, you can't really go here. And yeah, but it's really a late game. When you...
How far can you go down? So for instance, Minecraft can go down 64. So what's yours?
4 levels. There used to be 8, but we decided to cut them down because 8 levels is way too much, and yeah, very few people actually go down to the 4th level because it's like, I don't know, it's hours and hours of gameplay to go to the last level. It requires it requires a lot of resources.
So what's your opinion on the modding of games? Would you allow it inside of yours?
I'm all in for it, but right now we don't have any tools like modding tools. Like you can download the game, you can crack it, you can break it, and you can mod it if you want. But there are no official tools, like no tool sets so far. We'll see if the community will really want to have a tool set. We will create something for them.
Cool. I'm just going through the chat to see if there's any more questions here right now.
Meanwhile, I'll build something. Otherwise our PlayStation will be way too short.
How fast do you actually need to expand your population in order to survive? Is it okay? Here's a better question. With the introduction of the incubator, is there interbreeding? Like, is creating people a problem later on?
There is, however, you have to have some air, fresh air. Like you people won't die if you don't have enough fresh air, but they will be really slow.
Okay.
And they won't run. They will be the speed will decrease dramatically if you don't have enough fresh air. So if you expand very quickly, you will very soon be... wait a second, you see the mole man.
Yep.
There will be...
Defend the castle.
If you expand too quickly, there will be a shortage of air. And again, you're more likely to lose if you expand too quickly.
Okay. So it's a methodical build instead of like in Civ where you're just like build all the cities.
You have to be really careful about your expansions. Alright, we got something broken already. Do we have any engineers?
This game is just a nightmare. Earthquakes and
all this stuff.
Things breaking.
It's all random. We didn't script it. It's not scripted. Every time it's like you can have a run with very little events, and you have a run with like. Actually, you can adjust it. No, you can adjust it in the main menu before you start the game. You can adjust the frequency of the events, but they are still will be random. You just can't get lucky.
Parallax wants to know if there's any thoughts about scavenging the outside world for resources.
Not now. Like the outside world is dangerous to even be there. So there is like a desert. There is nothing out there. But we might add it. It's still under consideration.
Later on. Okay, cool. Sin wants to know, after 500 years, is there an endless mode? I think you said yes to that, I believe.
We are gonna add, like after the game is released, we're gonna add a few more modes, like a creative mode, which where you don't have any resources. Basically, you have resources, but you don't need them to build. And an endless mode where you don't have any cycle limit and you just survive as long as you can.
Sweet. Are you gonna be putting in high scores for that at all, or is it just gonna be community based?
Might add it, but
high score. I survived 4,000 days.
Maybe one day.
That's less than 500 years, I think. With your game, it says here that the Mole Man were inspired by The Simpsons. I don't remember any Mole Man in The Simpsons. What episode was that from?
Man, it's the character, the old guy.
Oh, Mole Man. Okay.
Well, it's not direct reference, but you know, people like make their
the name. So what's your plan for like after release support? You said you're gonna have a large update in March. How far do you see yourself going with this while also working on Frozen State?
We're gonna have a bigger release, update for Frozen State, and for Life and Bunker we don't have any schedule for now, but we do plan release it also in March somewhere, maybe late March. So Frozen State is gonna be the beginning of March, and update for the bunker will be, I think, it's gonna be at the end of March. Oh, we got so big room and nothing in it.
just put like 80 incubators in there, man.
No. Wait.
It's overpopulation.
We need to build a table. We got.
So, what makes your game stand out compared to other management games like RimWorld, No Moria, and Stonehearth?
Well, I don't know. Maybe its theme. It's kind of different.
Post-apocalyptic instead of fantasy.
It's kind of goofy. You see, it's all look of the residents and all the art styles kind of cartoony. But yeah, I think the theme is quite different. Like before, like when we started the game, making the game, there wasn't a Fallout shelter. And when we when we had the first feedback, it was like, "Oh, guys, that's such a great idea! You just you took basically Fallout and greeted with a dungeon keeper, and we said, yeah, kinda, and we got like really great feedback. But when Fallout Shelter came out, it was a huge slap in our face because everyone thought that we just ripped off Fallout Shelter.
You just did it in 3D.
In 2 days, basically.
But you guys had been working on this long before
like
Fallout Shelter had been released.
We even heard about Fallout Shelter, so it was really disappointing. But you know, it's
past Fallout Shelter. Everybody gave up on that. Now it's your game.
So. Oh, it's still not working. Wait a second, I need to connect it to the power. You know, it's really hard. I never thought before I started streaming how hard it actually is to play the game and talk. Really, it's a nightmare.
You just eventually learn how to tell random stories, and basically the game, if you play the game for long enough, like probably you have creating it, you figure out how to just play the game mindlessly while you focus all your attention on talking.
I'm still trying to survive. You know, it's a hard game.
Yeah, so do you, with your community, how did you gauge the balance? Because that's always like a weird thing that I've never really seen behind the scenes of. Like, how did you balance the game?
The game was even harder before. I gave it to my wife. she said she's sitting next to me right now. And actually, she finished it in the first or second go, and I said, "Oh, it's kind of easy." But I mean, I couldn't finish it back in the days, and she finished it, and she barely plays like video games. She plays with me, but she's not a hardcore gamer, and then I thought like we have a big problem with our balance, and we started dialing down the difficulty, and right now I think it's manageable. Like everyone can beat the game right now quite easily if they do it right, like if you don't mess too much.
All right.
Again, you can make your own challenges. Like you can, I don't know, you can make a beautiful bunker with all the doors and walls and all the stuff with the beautiful lamps. You know, you can create your own challenges if you want. But you know, the ultimate goal of the game is quite simple. You just need to survive. There is no let's say there is no really there is no hard motivation behind it to expand. And like if you play StarCraft, you know, there is an early game, there is a late game, there is mid game,
mid game.
You have to plan your decisions where you expand, where it's very crucial, like because of you have an opponent who actually does something like to win you. And here, when you have a goal to survive, you don't have an opponent, and you just can expand and build your bunker wherever you like. So it's kind of you have all the freedom, but you kind of lack of motivation to expand aggressively and to, I don't know, how to say, I don't know, yeah, maybe you don't have enough motivation to expand fast enough to grab resources, to fight for resources, something like that. So it's more like casual approach, I guess. That's why we're thinking of adding a few more scenarios where you actually would have to maybe expand quickly or expand carefully, where you would have to plan your resources.
Is there it's just an idea that popped in my head, any chance of you uncovering other vaults around you?
Maybe later.
Okay. And also, how wide is the world? We know it goes 4 deep, but how big is
There are
the
two
world?
types of maps. You can make it like right now we are playing the large world, and it's 40 by no 64 by 64 tiles, which is quite large. If you can see it, like right now yeah, it's
Huge.
quite big. It doesn't sound like a
Wow.
lot, 64 by 64, but it's quite a lot. And this is just one layer. You got four of them, so you can go
Yeah.
down, down, and down.
So, Parallax wants to know if your inhabitants can get angry at each other. Is there like a temperature meter for
They can
inhabitants
get angry at you.
interaction? They can get angry at us,
No,
but
not
not at
yet.
each other.
I was thinking about it, but then we decided not to do it. Maybe we'll add it later, but not right now.
Maybe
Well,
like a
I was
hardcore
thinking
version.
about some like killers, like what was the word for it? Like homicide killers when they can get crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, homicidal
Homicidal
killers.
killers.
Yeah, when they're really upset, they can start killing other residents. But it's not in the game yet. It was just an idea.
Okay. One thing I noticed while panning around your in your vault here, there's no
No, this is
restrooms.
one. This is the restaurant.
Oh,
I mean, that's
10 seconds. I can't see the restroom yet. I'm watching the stream.
sorry. All right,
I see a
this one.
bedroom.
I got it selected.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the
Okay, toilet
cabin and
cabin.
the
There you
shower.
go. Okay. I was wondering about that. I just didn't see any, like porcelain
No, no,
thrones
no.
anywhere.
We
And I was
decided
like, they're
to
not
hide
going on the
them.
floor. Is there a sport? You were talking about fitness earlier. Is there any like
Uh,
workbenches or anything in game
yeah,
for your
you
citizens
can
to become buff
you can make
steroid
an
users
exercise call, and they start. Yeah,
doing
yeah. And
exercises?
there is a treadmill as well.
Nice. What was your art style based off of? I feel like I've seen this kind of art style before, and I can't place it in the
Well,
world.
I made about 3 or 4 iterations, experimenting with the art style. I started
Hmm.
with Team Fortress art style because I think it's quite neat. It's really clean art style and nice and very
Yeah.
memorable. But I didn't like the way it looked. Like I don't know, it's quite dark. There is no when you have an outdoor game, you can build trees, you can put grass and all those colors kind of make a nice
Hmm.
nice view. But when you have just ground and rocks and soil, it's basically gray and brownish, so you can, I don't know, make some yellow soil like sand, but still you don't have so much variety of colors. That's why I try to make something in low poly style. When you have solid colors, basically it's either brown or blue or something like that. But again, it was too dull. Like if it was a tile, it was just a blue tile, and if it was a
Hmm.
piece of rock or piece of ground, it was just a brown brick. That's all. And that's why I kind of mixed the low poly style with hand painted texture. You can see there is a paint. Yeah,
Oh, it's hand
all the
painted.
stuff are hand
Ooh.
painted, and yeah, it's not geometry. It's quite low poly. It's very low poly, if you can say that.
Yeah.
But all these have textures, and all the props are hand painted.
So, one of the people in chat wants to know if the colored clothes mean different
Yeah.
professions. Is there like
Yeah,
a
this-
red shirt from Star
yeah,
Trek?
kinda. The jumpsuits were sort of inspired by the Star Trek. Yeah, you can see it. This guy, oh, it's she. She doesn't have a profession yet, so she got a orange jumpsuit. And if you yeah, let's make her walker. She got a bluish, and if we turn to janitor, she got this kind of brownish looking. The cook is white. So yeah, they have all different colors, so you can easily distinguish who is who and who is what. To like engineers, I think they dark blue. Where's our engineers? Wait a second. Yeah, here they are. Yeah, you see.
Well, that's cool. Oh, I was I was just looking at one of your characters flipping pancakes, and I was like, man, that's cool.
Yeah.
For your game, how far, like in the community, do you know how long people usually take to beat the game? You said your wife beat it in a couple
No, it's not
days.
days. I think if you will be playing like without a pause, it's gonna take you at least 4 hours. But yeah,
4 hours to beat it.
It's minimum because yeah.
Okay.
50 cycles. It's 4 hours. Like you can't go lower than that. So it's minimum 4 hours, but usually it takes about 5/6 hours.
Well, that's cool. I'm just looking at your machines here. Is all of the drilling and stuff automated?
Basically.
So none of your vault dwellers have to do any manual labor.
So, it used to be you used to click this, like for example, this thing used to be automatic. It's still automatic. It was automatic from the beginning, and it's basically what it does. It's drilling the ore for you, but it's like a raw material. And this is a refinery where your ore becomes building material. And it used to be manual, where you have to click the amount of resources to refine in the material, and it was kind of like people just don't like it. Why we got a feedback like, why do I have to distract on doing this manually? Guys, just make it automatic and that's it. And we decided, oh, all right, let's do it automatic and get rid of it, because you know, you still have this process automated. Why not make this automated as well? So all this stuff is streamlined.
So somebody in chat wants to know, do you know about the exploit wherein you delete a garbage container, it gets rid of all the waste?
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it, but
okay.
But you can actually recycle them. There is a thing called a recycler. It was over here. Yeah, we can't build it right now. We need to make a research. It's a garbage recycle. If you put it, it will recycle the garbage into material slowly, and you'll have very little material, but you'll get some.
Well, that's
but
cool.
yeah, you can just disassemble this waste container and you can build a new one, but you'll spend some resources at the end of the day. So it's up to you how you manage your resources. You can spend it or you can build another one. By the way, it's
so go
hard
ahead.
to break down, so I just say the engineer to go and fix it as soon as he can. So this is basically a priority. If the priority is 10, it has the highest priority, and the engineer will go and fix it immediately. Basically, like if he doesn't do anything, he's slacking.
I hate it when games don't have priority. It's like, come on, I just stop working on the road.
Yeah, they will do sorry. They'll do it immediately, but you got so many stuff around, so you basically have to prioritize what they do, because they just go through every object and fix it from time to time. But you have to like prioritize, like this is the water pump. If it breaks down, well, you're gonna you don't have water, so it's gonna be fixed first. Like all.
Gotta go send out a vault dweller to get a water chip.
It's another game.
Man, this is just the prequel to that. So you were talking about research earlier. What kind of research is available in the game?
A bunch of those. You can upgrade the drill beats of the workers, and they will dig faster. You can research a bunk bed, or wherein you can have a double deck. Is it called that way, or just a bunk bed? Anyway, you can research a lift, basically to get to the lower levels. We are a game machine. It's basically for entertainment. Dance machine. It's also for entertainment.
Yeah, I'm liking the names. VR game machine, yes.
Yeah, we kind of follow the trend. Oh, that VR. Like, let's make a VR game. No, let's put a VR in our game.
Is there any hope for you? So, like in Prison Architect, they have escape mode. Is there a way for you to play one of your citizens inside the vault?
That's a good idea.
So you're just walking around, flipping pancakes and stuff like that in VR.
Yeah, pretending to be cool. Find a new escape.
Can you escape to the Earth?
And then when you get up, you're dead. Fallout 3.
Oh no, you guys are starving.
They're puking around. We need an infirmary. Can we build one? Yeah, we can build one. Oh, they're sick.
Is there education for your citizens in the game?
No, they're kind of genetically
all-knowing,
modified. You can actually set the profession if you have enough research points. Over here, you can set the professions, but it requires a lot of research points.
Everybody's good at everything.
If you want to make it like a super, gifted resident, you have to have a 345 research points, which a lot. Like,
okay.
Every day you get around 50 from one research center, so you can do the math. It's like a lot, yeah.
A lot. I don't want to do all that math. Yeah, not today.
Nobody likes math.
So you specifically have to breed someone for that job.
Like, if you, for example, you might run in a scenario when you don't have any, like for example, engineers, and you really want to have engineers because otherwise there are nobody who can fix stuff around your bunker. And what you can do, go here and make yourself an engineer, and it will cost you only 20 research points, which is not that much. But right now we don't have any, so I can't make another. I can just make a random. If you don't have any selected, they just get random. Yeah, it's random.
Do whatever.
It's procedural generation. Basically, it's not very random because we have a script which kind of calculates how many professions do you have, and it tries to give you the ones which you don't have, or kind of balance your population. So that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
I was just gonna ask Centria if the raffle is over, and if we should give out another key.
Go ahead. I'm gonna build.
I'm just gonna paste one in chat. Whatever. All right. So you said you've been working on this for a year and a half. What were your original design documents looking like?
No,
don't have design documents? Oh man. How do you communicate?
There are only two of us. There is like I know my part. The Anton knows his part. So like we don't have to write long. Oh, this guy complaining. We don't have to have long documents because we know what we are making. Yeah,
What you need to do.
That's it. Basically, what we have, it's like a task manager, like a Jira, where we make tasks either for each other or just for ourselves to know what we have to do, and that's pretty much it. And like you have to have a design document if you got a big team, and you have to explain everyone what they must do, have to do, whatever. And but when only two of us, or it's like when you work alone, you don't have a design document to explain what you're gonna do. So it's kind of
Yeah. So Century wants me to tell the chat, type in !waffles if you want to enter the raffle for a key for Life in a Bunker, which is the game you are seeing now.
Is it your code word? Raffle.
It's raffles, waffles.
Yeah,
it's all over the place, man. So, in the meantime, you were working on Frozen State, your other game, right? You want to give us a little spiel about that, since that part disappeared into the internet?
Well, yeah, as I said, it's kind of completely different game. It's very moody and dark, and where it's all about loneliness, where you have to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. It's kind of fictional world where the humanity discovered the alien technologies back in 1970 something. Basically the beginning of the 20th century, and it affects the trajectory of the history and how the world develops. And there wasn't the Second World War, so the world is completely different. But the short version will be the people screwed up with the technologies, and
ended the world.
Collapsed. And yeah, we kind of playing in this screwed world and trying to survive. And if you, I don't know if you watched the movie called The Road, I think.
I have not yet. That is on my long list of movies to watch.
It's kind of similar to it. Like when I was designing the Frozen State, I was inspired by The Road and I Am Legend.
Ooh, I Am Legend. I know that movie.
Sucks, honestly. No, I don't like the movie. The book is awesome. You've got to read the book. The book is like million heads above the movie. No, honestly.
All right, I'll read the book.
You won't regret it.
So when did you start developing games?
When I was working in a bank well, I finished my bachelor degree in finance. Yeah, I know it's kind of way far.
No judgment here, man.
Yeah, your parents said like when I finished school at 16, like we kind of finished school early in Russia, so I finished school at 16. Wow. And you don't know what you're gonna do with your life. Like your parents say, like go to finance. All right. Like why not? Like all your friends go to finance. Like there wasn't much option, or there weren't much options back then. Like you can go to finance or to law. Because yeah, I know it's retarded, but we didn't have any fun stuff.
You didn't have any video game courses or anything?
Honestly, if you like, when I go back to Russia and to say like, even to my friends that I'm making games for living, they said like, what? Like, seriously? Like, find a proper job.
So video game developers a little bit
it's
frowned
still
upon
underground.
over
I think
there.
it's like maybe 80s in the Western countries. So
Oh,
it's not
okay.
serious. It's kind of it's not even it's still underground. It's very much underground. And you know there is a big barrier. Like my English is crap. Like I barely speak proper English.
You're speaking better than me
No.
currently, slurring my words.
No, really. But the main problem with Russian and post-Soviet devs from Ukraine, from Belarus and other countries, like many of them don't speak English at all, and it's very hard to communicate. Like there are some cool concepts and cool games, indie games, in Russia and Ukraine, but they really afraid to go out and show their games to the Western world. Even like they should do it, but like I don't know. It's like what is called Iron Curtain for indie games, but we created it by ourselves. It's not artificially created. It's like our fears that we wouldn't be understood by the people, and like I don't know, maybe look silly or stupid when you can't express yourself properly and you always struggle.
Yeah.
And people may think that, like, I don't know, it's my assumption that, oh, we have our first death. Yeah.
Ooh.
People are afraid that they might be taken for stupid, silly. I don't know. Everyone has its own reason, But yeah, its language is a huge barrier. Oh, people's dying.
You're not feeding them, man.
Yeah, because we don't have any farms. Yeah, they just got finished. Yeah.
What happens to the dead bodies? Speaking of dying,
Well,
is there like a disposal method, or do they just get
they got
evaporated into the earth?
And then you got this little skull, and the janitor will clean it up. Yeah.
I wish my job was that easy, man.
It's kind of simplified, but you know, we didn't want to make anything cruel, like burial like graves and coffins and other stuff. Come on, why you don't clean it up?
Can you make a throne out of the skulls? Aw. Ooh.
Yeah, we should have added in the feature list. You can build a throne out of skulls. Yeah,
use the skulls. Is there any other platforms that you're considering for this game?
So far, only PC, Mac, and Linux. So basically, desktops and laptops. I'd like.
Any hope for a mobile port?
I don't know. Maybe in the future. Originally we thought to. We have some ideas about bringing it to iPads, but then the game grew up so big and complex that current generation might be struggling with that. Like,
okay,
it's kind of heavy. The game. I know the game looks kind of simple, and because all this kind of blocky style, you think, oh, it should gonna be fine on iPads. Like, why not? But there are a lot of stuff going on behind the scene, and a lot of like pathfinding, all the scripts, they are constantly working and consuming your memory. So yeah, it's kind of maybe in the future, I don't know. I think we're about to start another run.
Uh-oh, are we gonna get a team wipe here?
So. Actually, we got 11
Ooh.
people and 3 on the way, so we might. Yeah.
You might pull it out. Just start building gardens, man. Just plant all those carrots, or space carrots.
Yeah, I think we need power. We need to power them up. Yep, like so. So yeah, what I was talking about, the Russian devs. Yeah, the Russian indie scene is quite. It's just in its infancy, and even though there are There were some big companies like the guys who brought Stalker and Metro, the War of Tanks.
Yeah.
Obviously, they are quite big, but still there are very few companies, and the devs from Stalker, they no longer exist. There are many companies and people who used to work on Stalker. They now work in those companies, but there are no like proper Stalker company yet who
devs
were behind the original. I think they might be the game designer and the producer of Stalker now working on the Cossacks. It's a strategy game. I don't know if you heard about it.
I recognize the name.
So it's a strategy game similar to, I don't know, maybe Red Alert, something like that. StarCraft, but in different setting, Cossack setting.
So, is it better for you as an indie developer, because you're talking about all the Russian devs and stuff, to have moved to the UK to develop this game?
It was beneficial. First of all, I've picked some basic English. Meanwhile, I don't know many local devs. Unfortunately, I'd love to, but I really spend all my time working on the games, and I barely have any time socializing. So for social life.
So you're a full-time video game hermit. There's no like indie game club over there, or
it has a funny name. It's called Antisocial. Yeah, no, it's kind of funny for social club. But yeah, I've been there for a couple of times, but I wish I could make it more often. But actually, the guy from Big Pharma, if you heard about this game, he's from Bristol, and I was at his presentation at the event Antisocial. It takes place every last Thursday of the month, so it's gonna be next week, but I'm gonna miss it again because I have a release. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of cool. There are a lot of indie developers around here, but I don't know them in person, unfortunately. So kind of missing.
Okay. Do you make enough money from your games to survive in Bristol? Because I know Bristol is one of those like pretty big cities over there.
It's not as big as London, and it's southwest, which is kind of rural area. And yeah, it's enough. I can't say I make a lot of money, but there are there are 3 full-time devs right now, me, Anton, and another Anton from Ukraine. Yeah, there are many Antons around here. Yeah, so basically there is me working from the UK, there is another Anton working from Moscow, and there is another Anton who is a kind of contractor. It's alright, we got our refinery broken. Anyway, he's from Ukraine, so it's kind of international company. International indie company, yeah.
I mean, you know, why not?
Yeah, it sounds stupid.
Are you all 3 of you working on Life in a Bunker right now?
It was made just by me and Anton from Moscow. And
okay. And then other Anton is working on Frozen State?
And another Anton working on Frozen State, so I'm kind of working on 2 projects simultaneously.
Okay. What did you said? Anton for Life in a Bunker was the programmer. Were you like the modeler slash
actually,
what
I made
else?
all the graphics, so everything you see in the game are made by me. Yeah, so if you don't like the UI, if you don't like anything, blame me. It's all on me.
I have no arguments. I couldn't do any
So
better. So
all animations, yeah, like as I said in the interview, it was like we were talking like, let's make a game. I said, okay, let's make a game. Before we had like the very simple looking models. If I turn to the water layers, they used to be something like that, more detailed, like, because I didn't know how to make animation. And in our prototype, our residents were looking like that, so pretty much like that. More complex, but you get the idea. And then I said, no,
yeah.
it's not gonna work. Like it, because it looked like prison architecture in 3D.
Okay.
So I decided to